Thank you, Commissioner, for being with us today. I will start with a quick question on the recent energy understanding with the United States. So currently, Intercommittee is assessing tariffs and reviewing the broader trade package with the new U.S. administration. In this large-scale energy purchase plan, which was announced by von der Leyen and handshake with President Trump, 600 billion euros worth of LNG. Is there already a structured commitment to deliver on this, or is it still just a political handshake and will remain as such a political stunt and nothing is following? Or there's a concrete plans for EU to implement actually this political deal as well? On the energy phase out of the Russian energy altogether, we, as you mentioned this evening, will embark on the trialogue for the gas. But could you please elaborate where Commission stands on the remaining issues when it comes to oil, petrochemicals and nuclear fuels as well? Is there already concrete legislative draft ready, and can Parliament expect submitting this draft to the Parliament for scrutiny? Could you please elaborate on the time frame? And last but not least, on the energy infrastructure altogether, what is the capacity for the EU to laying out, let's say, the new generation electricity cables? Do we have the capacity in the light of shortages on the metals and etc.? How the Commission is addressing that issue? Thank you.
Do I have 2 hours to answer? Good questions, but also big questions. I'll be as brief as I can and as concise as I can. So on the US deal, obviously we don't, you know this very well, so I'm not being polemic. I'm just saying obviously the EU doesn't as such buy the energy, goes without saying. And I know you know, I'm just stating the obvious. But we are doing what we can to facilitate, because we do need more LNG from other sources now that we stop importing from Russia. And the US is a part of that. Yes, it's big numbers, 750 billion in 3 years, but it includes everything. It's a calculation made on the basis of what we are already importing and what we will need when we stop importing from Russia. What's in the pipeline also on nuclear. A very big part of these numbers are potentials within the nuclear sector. And I've met several times with Secretary Wright to talk about what kinds of barriers are there and see how we can, on both sides of the Atlantic, how we can make that work, and that will continue. On repower and our determination to get rid of our dependency on Russia, it's true that we do not include nuclear yet. I have been preparing this legislation for some time, but I'm not ready to present it yet. It's quite complicated and needs to be done in very close collaboration with the member states involved, because we don't want to bring them in situations where they have lack of security of supply. But it is in the pipeline, and I will put it forward. And on oil, it is actually included also in our proposal that the 2 countries that have derogations from the sanctions that are still importing oil, they also need to make a plan for how to phase this out. And on the capacity of our grids and the new technology of cables, and not only with new technology but also with old technology, there's a huge pressure, and there will be supply chain problems that we need to tackle, and we need much better coordination between countries in this, and we need to look very hard at what we can do from a European side to make sure that the investments will actually happen. How do we draw not only public money but also private money into this? How do we de-risk investments? All of these things. It'll be a part of the grid package, but it will also be a part of the clean investment energy strategy that I'll be presenting next year.